know what? Let's go, you know?
I think realizing that I could be imperfect and still be an artist is what has changed in me. My name is Ruth Carter. I've been a costume designer for over 35 years and I've loved every minute of it. Design is being a part of a new idea, bringing forth this idea and this concept in a way that forms art and tells a story. I went to college to be a special education teacher, not a costume designer. I took lots of extracurricular classes that influenced and inspired me to learn more about the creative arts, and I found myself changing my major from special education to theater arts, and that's where I discovered costume design. I started with Spike Lee back in the late 80s, early 90s with School Days. Spike Lee was a mentor because I'd never done film before, and he'd actually go shopping with me in the early days, and he'd say, you have to have multiples for this because we're going to have a stunt or the person's going to get wet, and it's different from theater. You have to have duplicates of the same costume. That's mentorship. A project starts very grassroots for me. I read that script. I go on that journey. I immerse myself in the story. What colors, what temperatures come to mind when I read that script? Do certain scenes feel really hot, really cool? Do they feel breezy, bright? Even today, I'm learning creativity doesn't mean that you have a whole bunch of money to buy the grandest piece of materials. It could be anything. It could be something at a local store. I feel like the magic of knowing is seeing like beyond what's in front of you, and that's what the research helps you get to that point. In Black Panther, we did a lot of research of the different tribes of Africa. Like there's thousands of tribes in Africa, and we were only using like 12, and then I think we boiled it down to 8. There were no thoughts about, you know, hey, this is going to be great, you know, this is going to be big. Most of the thoughts were like, I don't want to mess this up. I got to get this right. I have to do this for the culture. Most of the time, people of color have to deal with this feeling of not being adequate. You have a perspective, a point of view. You have to trust that. When I interviewed for a costume design position for Black Panther, I didn't have an Academy Award. I sat in front of Ryan Coogler and he just said, Ruth, you know, I'm really glad you're here. I was a little kid when I went to see Malcolm X with my dad. I remember the costumes as a little kid. And I felt like, in a funny way, I had interviewed for Black Panther when this filmmaker was a young boy. I won the Oscar for Black Panther, became the first African-American woman, or African-American period, to win for costume design. But winning is seeing your vision come to fruition. That's winning.